Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Are you tired of grinding away to make money, feeling like you need to clone yourself to make your business a success? I know, I was once there too, working 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week with no me time and totally overwhelmed. I knew there had to be an easier and more fun way to make massive money. And that's when I discovered passive income. Fast forward years later, and now I consistently make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year while I sleep and with little of my time. My Lord, is this a freeing and empowering feeling. It's my mission and passion to teach all of you to do the same. So I created the exclusive ProjectME Passive Income Posse, where I directly teach you how to incorporate passive income streams into your life and business. If you desire the same financial freedom I've created, message me on Instagram or Facebook at ProjectME with Tiffany, and I will send you the group application requirements. We're keeping this group small so everyone gets customized guidance and attention. All right, now back to today's episode. Welcome to the Posse and podcast ProjectME with Tiffany Carter. Today, we are talking about what's holding you back from making massive money and the steps to uplevel your abundance mindset. So I've shared in other episodes how by the time I was 30, I had $1 million in the bank. And within 3 months of hitting that $1 million mark in my bank account, I lost almost all of it. And it was all due to my money mindset. It's my famous quote of me saying low self-worth equals low net worth. My self-worth was so low, but I was still able to get $1 million in the bank by pure grit and hustle and grind and damn near killing myself. So just a true survivor, high driver person. I just kept going and going and going and building and building. I could have earned that $1 million much easier if I could go back and tell myself that. There's a much easier way. But that's also why I created ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, to teach all of you the easier way, the healthier way, the smarter way, the faster way to achieving, great wealth and great worth. So here's the thing. I got it in the bank. Great. But it didn't stay there for long. It was 3 months. My self-worth was so low that anyone who had expertise in an area that seemed very intimidating and complicated to me, I put them on some kind of a pedestal. They must know more than me. I'm kind of an idiot. I don't know much in this area. And I did that with people who were in high-level financial positions or people who had amassed great wealth. They were millionaires. They must know something more than me. It's a fluke I have this, or I only have this because I've damn near killed myself to get it. So it's not really real. It's like just a chance that I got it. It's amazing I even got it, right? I got it in spite of the fact that I'm a nobody and a piece of shit. I mean, that's really what I thought of myself. So I ended up trusting people and giving them blind faith without doing any research on them, without looking more closely, without reading contracts very closely, without hiring, a lawyer to look at contracts for me for things I didn't understand, because the financial world is convoluted for a reason. And that's an entire different episode that I will share with you guys, because when things are really complicated, there is a strategy sometimes behind that of intimidating people into getting into things that really don't make much money, but they feel like they need it and they don't know much about money. So then they just end up going for it or hiring the person or signing the thing. and they just don't know any better. That's why I share in my primary video on ProjectME TV on YouTube, why I share that 70% of people who win the lotto go bankrupt within a year. I mean, and that's people who do the $10 million winning, the $100 million winning, because number one, it's a mindset thing. It's like, oh my God, I don't deserve to have all this money. Like, look at all these people who are poor. And therefore, because I don't deserve to have it, or I'm uncomfortable having it, or it feels weird to have it, I'm going to give it all away. Or because I have it and other people I care about are poor and struggling, now it's my responsibility to take care of all of them and the world, and then end up bankrupt. Or trusting people like I did, because I didn't have education on finance. I went to school for broadcast journalism. I really didn't know what the hell I was doing. So when someone sounded really smart and competent about things like that, I was like, they must know what they're doing. I trust them. And then didn't even read anything. So it's very tricky how this whole thing can happen when it comes to changing your money mindset. If you don't make yourself very aware of the thoughts that you have daily. So I'm going to give you a couple questions for you guys to do. You don't have to do it right now. I want you to do it when you have some clear space. Maybe you're commuting to and from work. That's a good time. You're taking a bath, something like that. But I don't want you like doing it while you're multitasking. So this is something I do with my private clients on a much deeper level, but I want to share some of these questions for you to ask yourself. So what was the general mood around bill paying time, tax time when you were growing up? What was said about money when you were growing up? Was it money doesn't grow on trees? Was it there's never enough money? What was actually verbally said? And it doesn't have to just be by your parents. I'm talking family, friends, people you had a lot of time with, and people who you're even surrounded by now. Maybe it's a significant other or whatnot. How did your family and friends growing up, how did they respond when they saw maybe someone on TV won the lottery, or they saw a neighbor pull up in a brand new car, or they saw when they dropped you off at school, your friends who were like the wealthiest friends in the school? What did they say about those families or their homes? What did they say about people who had a lot of wealth? They could be celebrities. They could be people local. What did they say about those people? Now, let me ask you this. How do you feel when you see someone or listen to someone who is a millionaire? Maybe me, for example. Maybe it's someone who won the lotto. Maybe you were at an event and a girl's rocking like, a hardcore Louis Vuitton bag and Louboutin shoes. And, she's looking fly and looking like she has her shit all together. What do you think when you see that? What do you think when you're scrolling social media and you see people taking lavish trips and having the high life with the champagne and the bags and the yachts and all that? What do you think? And then what do you feel? How do you feel in your body? I really want you guys to take a look at this. That's where the mindset shifts really occur. You first have to be aware of what was implanted in you involuntarily growing up, right? You don't have a choice when you're growing up. You don't have cognitive, right? You don't have a cognitive response, as a kid going, I'm not going to take that information in. That money mindset is very negative. You don't have that. You just absorb it like a sponge. And when it's said over and over again, it ends up actually like really, really implanted in you involuntarily. So what is that? So go through those questions I gave you. What is that? So you can have a clear picture of what it is that is still living within you today. What was implanted in me from childhood is still living within me today. I've just done a shit ton of work around it to manage it. But you better believe if I'm not feeling well, something I was really hoping for fell through, something like that, you better believe it still gets triggered to this day. But I have practices in place in order to quickly get out of that. But before I had that, I would just be a disaster and in full panic and fear all the time around these types of money triggers, abundance triggers. Okay. I mean, I was very envious when I would see people my own age who look like they were living like their best life, super abundant, whether that was true or not behind the scenes. But when I would see that, I would get very triggered. I'd be jealous. I'd be envious. I would go into a low, my low self-worth vibe was like, God, I really want that, but maybe that's just not what I'm meant for. Maybe I won't have it. Or God, I want that, but it seems like a lot of work to get it. So I want you guys to really get aware and clear about what that imprint, that financial imprint, that mindset that was, involuntarily implanted in you growing up. And it could be also from a long marriage, right? A long marriage or even a long-term friend. We absorb, right? We absorb what's around us. Haven't you noticed that with your friends that you spend a lot of time with, or your significant other, you guys end up starting to talk like each other and sharing the same phrases, or you can end each other's sentences? Well, this is how it happens subconsciously. You can absorb someone else's poverty mindset just by being around them and spending a lot of time around them. So first step is getting aware. Then you're going to get clear, and you're getting clear by further answering the questions that I gave you. And you're getting clear by seeing how that is affecting you now, how that imprint is showing up in your life right now, and getting really, really clear on that. And then asking yourself the question that I love sharing with people is this for a fact 100% true for forever? Is this true? And questioning these beliefs and these thoughts that you have, you're challenging them. You're putting them into question, just like you would challenge someone who's like, no, I know the sky's purple. And you're like, dude, it is not purple, it's blue. And you would be really, really adamant about it because you know for a fact it's blue and it's not purple. I want you to do that with yourself when you're challenging your own beliefs, so that your mind ends up starting to look for evidence and proof of the positive, of showing you there is great abundance. You are worthy of great abundance. You can totally make as much money as you want to make. You're worthy of it. You deserve it. It's actually simple to make money. It's work, but it's actually simple. And you can for sure do this. Then your mind starts looking for proof and evidence to support that, versus it constantly searching and even creating for proof and evidence of a poverty mindset, which I guarantee for anyone who's listening who is broke, in debt, or not financially anywhere near where you want to be, that's been going on subconsciously for many, many years. So do this exercise. You might need to do it later. Like I said, I don't want you doing this exercise when you're multitasking if you really, really want to change this shit. And anything that comes up, any further questions you have, hit me up on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany. In the DMs, I spend 2 hours a day answering each and every one of your questions. It's super important to me that I'm there and available to help guide you. And if you're not on Instagram, it's okay to do Facebook. I'm at ProjectME with Tiffany on Facebook, and you can hit me up in Messenger. I want to be here to help support you through this and guide you, because this is really where the issue and the sticking point lies, is in these beliefs. And if you don't do the work to challenge them and reframe them and find evidence and facts to support your new beliefs, and you do it, if you don't do it consistently, you are constantly going to be chasing your tail of, being financially paycheck to paycheck, financially in debt. Or you'll find yourself being one of those people who you get ahead, but then some shit happens and now you go back. And then you say the line of, I can never seem to get ahead. Just as I get ahead, I get an unexpected bill. Yeah, well, it's not so unexpected. This is a subconscious pattern, and your mind is looking for evidence to support these beliefs that were involuntarily implanted in you from your childhood and or significant people in your life to this very day. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. If you love this episode, take a screenshot, post it on social media and tag me at ProjectME with Tiffany. I'd love it if you put a big number sign on there, a number sign, a dollar sign, and share it so that I know that you guys found this helpful, because then I'll create more money mindset, abundant mindset episodes in the future. As always, wishing you guys great health, wealth, and worth. Talk to you soon. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.